walk us through the emotions that was the Monday night show and finding out that your team made it to the tournament?
Yeah, it was a long week of waiting, a long week of watching sort of the RPI and all the teams on the bubble and all the teams in the mid-majors that we really wanted to win. It was just a long week of just trying to figure out if we were going to be selected. And I was feeling pretty hopeful when we walked into the room, and I think the whole team was just had no idea. And so when your name gets called, that level of excitement it's next level. But yeah, everyone fired up, excited, and I think we feel like we belong, and we're really, really excited to be headed to the tournament.
What is the level of belief inside that room, the locker room right now, that you guys can make a significant run?
I think there's a great level of belief. I think the preparation of just being part of the Big Ten is what gives you that ability to feel prepared going into the NCAA tournament. And also just feeling like we belong in this tournament. And we're excited for our bracket. We're excited for game one and to see what we can do against Memphis.
And what do you think the team's shown throughout the season that they were, deserving of this honor?
I think it goes back to our roots. Love, trust, and resilience, and all season long they have shown those three characteristics. Resilience being one of them, and we've had tough games and come back the next game with a great response. We've had games where we've come back from behind, late game winners. So I think just our level of resilience has been massive throughout the season, and I think even just like waiting for that week and being able to train every day at the levels that we did just shows our resilience and our grittiness.
I mean, did you imagine this happening in year one, and how helpful is this as you continue to try and build up this program?
It's huge in terms of building the program we want to build. That is really significant. And I think people have asked this question a lot, like, is this what you expected? Honestly, I expect every day that we show up and give it our absolute best, and we try to grow every single day. And so that was my expectation going into the season, and they have lived up to that expectation every single day. And following that process, we're going to get the outcomes that we want.
That group of seniors, what does this mean to them at all?
Oh man, it's so big for them. I mean, they've waited years. Sid Stevens has been here 6 years.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And so they have truly been fighting for this for many years, but also they stuck around through a big time of change. After Janet retired, that was a big transitional and long transitional period for them. So just the fact that they, again, showed resilience and going through that change has been pretty special to watch, but also they get to see the fruits of their labor really pay off.
Did you feel like you had to, how much of a transition was this from you to Janet, do you feel like? Do you feel like the team adapted as well as they could to that change?
I think they did. I think they adapted really well. I think Janet and I are very different people,
right.
But our coaching isn't that different. I just think that our trainings looked a little bit different. The energy that we brought in was a little bit different. So I think just the adjustment for them was having to bring that level of intensity and energy every single day was the biggest change for them. And I think it was welcome change as well, just being able to compete every day, and it really helped us prepare for every game that we had every weekend.
How do you balance the celebration on Monday of, all right, we're in the tournament, cool moment, and then now, we've got to turn around and go play on Saturday?
So we've talked a lot all season about confidence and resilience, and part of resilience is getting back into that neutral state and neutral thoughts. And so it's the same after a big win. How do we calm our bodies, calm our minds? And we learned that after the Penn State game. We didn't calm down well enough. And so we've practiced it over the season. And so after Monday, we let them celebrate Monday night. But yesterday we were back at it talking about neutral thoughts and how to get into that neutral flow and that flow state. And so it's a challenge, but at the same time, we've been preparing for this all season and talking about that sort of neutral state and resilience.
When did you feel like this team, I use like Coach Green and Coach Bielema in their first years, just trying to prepare to win instead of getting rid of losing thoughts and losing mentalities. When do you feel like that flipped for this group?
I've got probably three moments. One was we were playing against Kentucky and we conceded our first goal of the year. and we were able to come back and win that game. And I think what I heard they said in the huddle, I wasn't in the huddle obviously, was we know what to do. So the fact that they had that belief and they knew that they could come back was huge. The other one was the Penn State win. I think that was a moment where I knew that this team was ready to win. And then the other one was our response when we played Maryland after losing to Ohio State the week prior. We came back, we played Maryland, and we won in the last 5 minutes, and we just never backed down. So those 3 games were really significant in the middle of season. And then you looked at our game against Ohio State, and our first half, we did not touch the ball. We were against the wind, we were struggling to gain possession, and we weathered the storm for 45 minutes. That right there, that's a gritty performance where you know that this team is not going to lose that game.
I know it was a while ago, but we didn't get to talk to you back then. What changed in the second half of that game?
Oh, great question. We've had a lot of games where our second halves are better, but I would say when we went into the half, I asked the team how they were feeling. They said, honestly, the wind is the hardest thing to play against, and we didn't realize just how strong the wind was. So the fact that we were able to weather the storm, I think that just gave us so much confidence. We made a couple tactical adjustments, but nothing crazy. But I think just being able to sit through that for 45 minutes and just Ohio State had all the possession, that gives you confidence. And then we were able to string a couple passes together in the second half and really use what we call our superpower, which is our press, to score a goal. And that right there, that changed the game. I mean, we then dominated from then.
That moment when we, this as a forward, and you preach it a lot, that your forwards have to press, and that ends up being a goal. How rewarding was that as a coach?
It's how we score a lot of our goals is in that press. And so when you've got our attacking players hungry enough to defend like that, we know we're going to have a really good game. And it is rewarding because when you work on it all season long and then you see it happen in game, it's awesome. But yeah, that was that big time game changing moment for us.
What are you guys doing to keep that confidence and that grittiness facing your first out of conference team in a lot of months?
We're really focused on us. We know Memphis is going to be tough. We know Memphis is undefeated, but we're not focused on that at all. We're sticking to us and being focused on us and what can we continue to get better at? Where can we really, take advantage of maybe some of their weaknesses, not necessarily worried about them and their style. I think if we can really just play our way, we'll be all right. And we do that every day in practice, and that helps with our confidence too.
Is the weather change that you guys might have to see something that you have to kind of prepare the team for at home?
Gosh, I hope not. The game's at 7 o'clock at night, so I think it's going to be really, really pleasant. If we were playing in the middle of the day, I'd be a little bit worried, but no, I think we're going to really enjoy it. We're not going to have to wear like a bunch of layers and all of that. So no, I'm not too worried about it.